you for joining us. Millions of Nigerians are concerned. They are petrified over the insecurity that has infiltrated our national security. Also, we also are not sure if the dividend of democracy will be of a gain anytime soon to even ordinary Nigerians. Meanwhile, protest has been ongoing from yesterday across the country in Abuja, Lagos, #End Bad Governance. But I won't be doing this talking alone. I have my co-host here, Erica, John, and also Williams. I would like them to introduce themselves. How you were doing? Regular guest, Williams.
Our regular customer is here, Williams.
I'm good. We are in the summer mode.
Yes,
we are.
Yes.
I don't want to talk much.
All right.
Wow.
Also, like I mentioned, we have two guests here, Williams and Diokba DRM. Pleasure to have you. How do you feel being here today?
Yeah, I feel good being here to discuss national issues. It feels nice connecting with everyone as well.
Yeah. Thank you for coming through.
You're welcome.
Anyway, I know that it's a bit sunny. I don't know how the weather is in your area. But as you know, this is Saturday, and we are here to run down every threat to democracy. That's what I'm about to do. And seriously, I cannot wait for us to get into the conversation. June 12th is Nigeria's Democracy Day. And we are in solitude to that. Yesterday we were talking about what exactly are Nigerians gaining from democracy. Is it just the right to vote, or is there more that needs to be benefited from democracy? But I would like to hear your thoughts on that, Williams.
For me, the only thing that we have seen in this dispensation is continuity. I think that's the only thing I can say I have seen. That since 1999 that we started this current democratic system that we're operating. The problem is a lack of trust and will of the people who come into governance to move the country to another level. They are selfish. And that selfishness is blocking their ability. Everyone has ability to do good. That's number one. But once selfish attitude and self-centeredness comes into it, it becomes something that is not achievable. You can't give something good when the mind is filled with something that is not good. So I can just say that what we have benefited so far since we became democratic, this dispensation, is continuity. All of the things that we are seeing, talk about technology, these are just the things that the time bring. You can imagine telling us that we cannot use mobile phone at this age because the people in government have not brought it in. It can't work. Everywhere you have this. Technology is pushing things to different countries that the government does not even have to. They don't have an option that to bring it. And so when somebody comes and gives us mobile phone, you can't praise that person for saying. So those are some of the things that people point out. This person's regime was when they gave us mobile phone. In this other person's
basic
regime.
Things, you know.
And so if you talk about health, we don't have a good health system. Talk about education. That one. You can even see schools. People are even withdrawing their children from some schools. Talk about infrastructure. What infrastructure can you say we have seen? Up till now, we still don't have solution for scarcity of tomato. No preservative, no system that can help preserve tomatoes during harvest, so that before the next season, we still have tomato. We don't have. If you go to some markets, why tomato you can buy 5 for 500 naira? There are some places you go and you see heap of tomato wasted.
True.
And so if the government can't bring investors into these sectors to handle it, they are just interested in crude oil, mining the country, drilling. So, some of our crude have even been sold. The problem we have now, for instance, that fuel is high. We are not supposed to be here. If the government was doing what it's supposed to do by giving Dangote enough petrol. So for me, I can just say I have not personally benefited anything from democratic system apart from just seeing continuity.
Thank you for that, Williams. Now, Idiokba, I used to think that democracy is a day where people come out to, in solidarity to celebrate our democratic system. We can vote, we can elect our own person that can, be there for us and rule us. Now, the case is now different in 2026. Protests are now being staged across the country. Why do you think that is? And even this protest we're talking about, do you think that it's just a means to an end, or you also think it's beyond face value? What's your thought on that?
All right, thank you for bringing me on board. Sure, got shot at yesterday on a Democracy Day, where he's supposed to be expressing his civil rights. That's primarily right, but secondarily, we all went out to protest, express our civil rights.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very questionable, the society we belong in, that we do not enjoy the dividend of democracy, which, however, has been made an extension to an establishment of capitalism, right? Yeah. So it feels like some people have found a way to democratize, to commercialize democracy in a way that it now benefits their own personal interest and desires. So to your question, isn't democracy a day where we should all be celebrating as well as expressing our zest for a new system and dispensation we are in? Yes, it should be, but then the case were different, because that could be the de jure or de jure, like you may have it, but the de facto to our reality is a different thing entirely. Would it, however, be a means to an end, or it's just us coming out again to clamor? Protest would only work when it comes to single bills that are going to be amended or that are being clamored down to be amended. But when it comes to the overhauling of a system radically or liberally, then a revolution is the go-to, right? My take, however, would be that we had always projected complaints from time immemorial, Saka. The Nigerian masses are largely politically apartheid, right? We do not want to participate in politics because we've gotten our concept wrongly. My voice is gone because I'm just coming from a protest.
Oh, you joined the
right?
protest.
So this is symbolic to it, right? Protest on Democracy Day is also very symbolic. Now back to the central point I was making. The masses are the problem of society.
The masses are the problem of society.
Why do you think so?
Yeah, I would as the core of it, there is a contract called social contracts theory in sociology, where the masses and the government got into a contract. First, it was the masses who got constituted, and then Thomas Hobbes in his theory stated, man in the state of nature is naturally selfish, brutish, wicked, wild, and all of that, greedy. Now, for man to be adequately led progressively, like my brother mentioned, that he hasn't enjoyed the dividend of democracy and that the government was supposed to take us to a different level. Yes, they have taken us to a different level. It's whether or not progressive or regressive. They've taken us to a regressive level, and it gets to regress at every point in time. Back to man's state of nature, Thomas Hobbes. What we can see is just performative. Dramaturgic Society by C. Wright Mills, right? Not by C. Wright Mills. C. Wright Mills was sociological imagination, but it was Evan C. Goffman who said that humans would come out to perform acts and wear masks and form person and fake person and feign it, right? But in their closets, there are something different. He also mentioned, in making references to him, that you cannot give what you don't have. In law, there is a Latin maxim that quotes, Nemo da quod non habet. You can't give what you don't have. These people are not futuristic. In the last 4 years, I have never seen the Minister of Information mention anything close to a decentralized society. Blockchain technology is where decentralized society is being rooted in, right? So if you do not have a decentralized society, the best they could come about was e-Naira, and that e-Naira was tied to our BVN and NIN. So it means you want to control us at every bit of it, in every shape, in every core, and at the crust of our existence. Talking about democracy, again, our rights are not being protected or enforced. Our rights are not granted to us fully. So it makes no sense that even if you want to trail technology, like my brother again said, that in this dispensation and now, it makes no sense that you are not able, that a governmental architecture or framework would say, oh, my citizens wouldn't use technology to foster their everyday life. That can't work, but they are doing it in terms of control. Do you understand? So they cannot give what they don't have because they don't have it. Yes, we might want to argue that, oh, Sheikh Tinubu is the closest youth representation to the government, would also travel to China and America and see technological developments, and see economical developments, political developments, social developments, physical developments, biological developments, biochemical developments. It is every form and ramifications, yet he cannot stand for us. He is not even meant to stand for us because that's not his duty. His duty to us as a nation is to be a son of the president. It's as simple as that. The president should constitute the cabinet that are grounded with the wherewithal and technical know-how, talking about technocracy. A system of government that is led by skill, technocracy. So we have to live in a technocratic system that democracy, which is the ability for government of the people, by the people, and for the people, which is the ability for the majority to carry the votes and make the poll, right? Imagine the everyday pepper seller, the old woman, the elderly woman, 80-year-old, who knows nothing about governance, coming out to pick a candidate. And then, because majority of that carries that vote, it means that those constitution of the pepper sellers are the ones who elect people who we should be led by.
Okay, was that why you said that the youth are also complacent to
the masses?
Yeah,
The masses.
the
Yes.
masses, rather.
So
Yeah.
democracy is large. Now, let me just paint a very simple scenario. Imagine that in the Nigerian society today, we have the fastest number of rising youthful population. By demography, we have the largest youth amount in Africa, obviously, by way of population, right? In the world, we have the fastest growing. Now, it does not matter the demography you belong in. What matters is the kind of minds, the level of minds, the pedigree of minds you are able to project. Because the government is a perfect replica of the population we have. So if there was a revolution today and that every government, every elected representative were forcefully, radically taken, uprooted out of their position, and you handpick the average Nigerian youth to represent them in those seats, we are still going to have what we have today. Because it is not about governance, it is not about them, it is about culture. This brings me to my closing remark on this particular question. The problems we experience are not firstly political, they are firstly philosophical. We experience philosophical problems where it now germinates into different types and forms of problems, and these forms of problems would now bring forth problematic fruits. So the problem is in the roots, not in the fruits. The fruit is governance, and we've gotten our concepts wrongly. I would randomly tell people, what is politics? Politics naturally should be a tool of scientific governance. A tool of a scientific tool of governance, whether or not good governance or bad governance. Now, liking politics to hammer. Hammer could be used to create furnitures. It could also be used to crack the average skull or cranium, right? Now, if the hammer was in the hands of a murderer, we all know what they were going to use for. Now, if politics were also in the hands of good people, we know what politics can do. So politics is not a dirty game, and this is a message to the masses out there. It is not a game of numbers, it is not a game of interest. Politics is a scientific tool of governance, whether or not good governance or bad governance.
So you said that it's more of the masses. Now we should face them. These same masses are coming out protesting. So how do we trust this protest? Because if you said that the issue stems from masses, you are the problem, and you're still out there. You are not doing anything. You cannot do anything as a regard of foresight. You do not have that capability, foresight-wise, to do something because you are the problem. Now, I'm taking your word now.
Yes.
So how do we now, how would government or how do people still trust, how should they still trust that movement?
I'll jump to a prospective question I was supposed to be answering later on.
Okay.
But I'll pick a bit out of it now. Surrounding the concept of security votes, right?
Yeah.
So for security votes, what does it mean? That away from the bureaucratic system, governments would naturally allocate different level of funds to different states to quell security issues. But largely in this society, they are not being accounted for. Who are those who are supposed to be taking custody and administration of those security votes? People, humans,
Yeah.
right? Also, there are beneficiaries of insecurity in Nigeria. Insecurity as the context, primary context. We want to point hands as the government who allegedly are those we think are the financiers. Yes, they are largely. I would want to allegedly, yeah, I would want to uphold that. But I'll give you very sweet instance right now, where it will no longer be alleged.
Okay.
Because like I said, our problems are philosophic. Now, if my brother got kidnapped, and then those who kidnapped him seek rather 100 million naira in ransom, and that 100 million naira is paid, my sister will be come for.
Sure.
They would come for my sister.
Sure.
So that way you are financing it. Now, how do we then constitute the idea and ideology that citizens are the problem of society, and that the masses who also are on the street or not on the streets contributes to this? It's as simple as this.
Okay.
In Nigeria, we experience political apathy, where we all want to abstain from political processes, governmental processes.
Yeah.
That's in itself is a problem.
Okay.
That is one. Secondly, when it comes to governance, in the sense that we even participate at all, we are going in there for selfish interests. We at TIB, Take It Back movement, would usually fight for good causes, ethical standard of human operation, which is love, right? But when we have conversations with people who are not like us, they'll tell you, it's a lie. When you get there, you also want to go and steal. Just like me, when I get there, I want to go and steal.
So do you think
it's
that
a national
that
cake.
is wrong?
Yes.
Is that not what is prevalent
It's
in
not-
today's...
it's
Yeah.
For the fact that it is de facto does not mean it is de jure. De facto actually means what we experience in reality does not mean that is reality. That shouldn't be reality. It is not idealistic. Okay, to paraphrase that question, is it wrong that people have criminalistic mindsets towards governance? Is it wrong?
Of course it's wrong.
I'm
But
asking,
that's
is
the
it?
reality.
It is the reality does not mean
It is
it
right.
is ethical.
Yes,
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.